having issues just getting shit done. Sometimes it doesn't need to be perfect. Sometimes
motivated or inspired.
First, know that everyone is
go
different.
now.
You are special just as you are. No one, I can't, and I'm always too sarcastic. I like have it, but then I'm like
collaging.
Oh my gosh, want to take a shot with me? I'm gonna chase this shot with my ginger tea. Hi, it's Em. I make videos on creativity. You might be asking yourself, what qualifies you? Well, the answer is, I don't know, I've just been doing this since I was a kid. Aww. I do basically anything that I feel like doing in the moment, and I'm actually recording this intro 2 months after I even recorded this video. Things have been so bumpy lately here. I think it's been kind of dawning on me that this video is actually about perfectionism, and it's almost the same reason why I can't get it out. But that's why I was like, let me just get this out today. I feel like this was not the best intro. I might have to re-record this, but then again, I'm having issues just getting shit done. Sometimes it doesn't need to be perfect. Sometimes maybe this is just the intro.
If you came to this video looking to learn how to use Nori Paste and that's it, and you're like, why are you talking about your feelings? You can just go ahead and skip to that part because I have the chapters listed down below.
This first part is a haul because this is YouTube after all, so you need to watch me consume things.
I saw this art challenge at this movie theater that I really love. It's cool because they choose some and put them in the lobby of the theater, and I was like, you know what, I need to do one of these. As always, I got kind of caught up on like other things that I was doing, and then I checked the flyer yesterday because I was cleaning my room, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is due in 3 days, and I was like, okay, that's enough time to do it. It was like 11 p.m. All of a sudden I started getting these ideas, and I was like, okay, I can wake up and do it tomorrow, or I can just start now. If I'm feeling like motivated or inspired, I'm like, just go now and see what happens. And I finished almost the whole thing last night. So I was collaging till the sun came up, basically. I was just like, it was really fun. I had a great time. I was using this like vintage magazine that I had for a different reason actually. They had me thinking so much about like advertising because it was like a Life magazine from like the 60s, and a lot of the ads are for cigarettes and alcohol. And the whole time I'm thinking like, ooh, wouldn't it be nice if I had a little drink right now? And I'm like, no, that's why I have these. If I can't fight the craving, I just grab me one of these. So I got to go to the art store today. I really shouldn't be shopping right now. Let me show you what I got. I love this purse. My mom got it for me in Mexico. First things first, a lighter. This I didn't get at the art store. I got this at the dollar store because I have this vinyl and I'm trying to cut the vinyl. And one of the only ways I can do that is by heating up the vinyl first and making it like malleable. Okay, warning, if you're gonna heat up a vinyl, make sure to do it outside or in a well-ventilated area because like I kind of got a headache after I did that. So this is like the most important thing I got. Nori paste, and basically you just combine it with water and it's a paste. Wow. But it's non-toxic, acid-free, dries clear, slow drying. They have bigger containers, but this one was $3, so cashew break. Oh, Santana loves cashews. I have to give him one now. That's it. Okay, so to apply the glue, I was going to get a paste brush, but they didn't have any. So I got this one, and it was $1. I have to be careful because there are macadamia nuts in this mix, and they're lethal to dogs. No, you don't want one of these. You want one of these. Oh yeah, I'll let you know if it gets chosen. If it doesn't get chosen, I'll probably cry just because I'm very sensitive and I cry every time I am rejected from something, and it's just part of my release. And I think I'll stop doing that hopefully eventually. In the meantime, now I know I just cry every time and it's not a big deal.
Okay, I'm realizing how much this video kind of just doesn't make sense structurally, so I'm just going to be doing a voiceover throughout all of it. It's kind of like a Scorsese movie in a way, you know? So something I forgot to mention was that for the art challenge, they gave us a list of movies and we were supposed to make like alternate movie posters. So I went ahead and chose A Clockwork Orange. I'm going to be getting into the making of part later. For now, I'm going to be doing a demo on how to use Nori Paste. This video is about how to use Nori Paste. It's also a little bit about perfectionism. But I noticed something. It says, perfect paste for the perfect project. Things don't need to be perfect. And actually that can really get in the way of you making anything to begin with. Now it's just paste for the project.
Wow.
So you're gonna need a piece of paper. I'm using watercolor paper, and I actually decided I'm gonna use ink drawing that I made during Inktober. I think I did try it on printer paper. It wasn't the best for this, so if you could get even just cardstock, that would be probably better. You're also gonna need a brush. I wrote glue on here because I'm trying not to mix it with any of my paintbrushes. Obviously the Nori Paste, water to mix in with the Nori Paste, a jarred parchment paper, or you can use wax paper, card. I've also seen people use those like boning tools, which if you have a boning tool, like great, but when I went to the art store, they were like 30 bucks. This is what, half a teaspoon? Oh, it smells so good. I would literally like get perfume that smells like that. I've actually never measured. I've always just kind of mixed it, but I'm trying to, okay, well, so then you just use your brush and then you're gonna mix it together. I think someone described it on YouTube. I saw melted ice cream, and I thought that was pretty good and accurate. So this was a 1-to-1 ratio, and I like it. Oh, I ran out of paper towels, so I'm just gonna use my sweater to clean up the water I spilled. Life hack. Oh, well, now I feel wet. Basically, I have some clippings here already. I have my car here. It says, if you can't think of 3 good things about your car, look in the yellow pages for the Volvo dealer nearest you. Ooh, I can think of way more than 3 things about my car that I like. This is like not a really good ad because I think about how great my car is and how I wouldn't trade it in for a Volvo. Grab my glue, and I kind of like do that so it's not like dripping in it. And I always use some sort of thing here. You can even put paper underneath, because honestly, the last time I did this thing got really sticky. I just always wash it because I'm just kind of impatient. But yeah, then I'm just painting light strokes here, and then you can kind of see like it's starting to like, that's how much water there should be. Like it really shouldn't be too much because you also don't want this thing to like start to crinkle. And I place it down. If I want to, move it further. It's really forgiving. You're gonna grab your parchment paper and you place it on top of the car. And you take your card, and you're just gonna go from the center to the outside. And there you go. And I also have my bag of letters here. I swear I only use these for collages. Okay, everyone, good night. Sleep tight. Thanks for watching. Oh, my chalk fell. Okay, and if you're still sticking around, this part's gonna be the making of my Clockwork orange collage. This part is super important. I found this quote and I think it's really exemplifies why, like, because okay, if we're talking about a Clockwork Orange, Kubrick and women, okay, filmmakers and women, artists and women, everyone and women, let's say like the rape scenes in a Clockwork Orange, like it's actually meant more to like titilize the viewer, and even if it's not the intention, that's like a great example of like the male gaze. They might not even know they're doing it, but they're doing it because they already sexualize women in real life, especially sexualizing this woman in the story who is being assaulted. So I think that that's really important to preface it with, but I think that this quote is the reason why I wanted to do this poster in the first place. This quote says, "It's funny how the colors of the real world only seem really real when you vidi them on a screen." That's after the main character, Alec, he's like being forced to look at this projection and see all these violent images. I feel like this is what it's like when I use my phone. I open it up and I'm like trying to have fun or like trying to see like a friend of mine, and it's just like all of these like crazy things, but they're real, so you can't be like, don't show me this at all, but it's also like very like jarring. It's also a moving image, so different from even reading the news, let's say in a newspaper, and what it must have been like when that was like your only option. And the whole thing is about like good versus evil, and there's been such a strange emphasis on like being like the goodest. In the movie, two of Alex's old friends who were also like basically pillaging with Alex, they become police officers actually. So I just like that about the story too, because it just shows the way that like sometimes things are deemed as good if you're like have a badge or have some sort of government authority, and then when you do it outside of that, it's seen as this like evil thing, like what's legal, what's illegal. I'm thinking specifically about like drugs. I just love anything that's been censored pretty much. Like there's been so many banned books in the United States recently. I mean, they're banning literal identities, trans kids, and it's fucked up. It's just like so, ugh. I don't even want to, but that's what I'm saying. I don't want to get all worked up, but it's hard not to. Yeah, move this over. Okay, it's letting me move it. Thank God. Let's move it a little bit more. Okay. I'll let it dry, and tomorrow I'll be going to thrift store to see if I can find a frame for this.
I'm done. Okay, so I framed it. Yes. It's my baby now. I'm dropping it off because I got into the show, and I just called this copy center to see if they can do a scan of it, and they're like, yeah, that's what we do. We're a copy center. And then I can maybe make some prints.
So I made the prints. Here's a better look at the collage. If you want to get a print, I have them on my Etsy, which is linked down below. If the original doesn't sell at the theater, I'll also be selling it on Etsy too. So, yeah.
I'm having so much trouble getting things done lately. I keep like ruminating, and then I'm just like sitting here ruminating and I can't get shit done. Like if I could just sit and do it, like I promise you I would. Why does being imperfect always feel so imperfect? Can you learn to embrace or even love your flaws? The truth is you can, but it means changing your perspective. I have a window, and I never know how long this window is going to be, of when I really like something that I'm working on, and then to a point where like I don't like it, and like I want to be happy and proud of my work. I think it's just a result of me still judging myself too harshly. It's like something I do automatically. I don't know if it's just like something I was raised with or like whatever. I'm realizing how much it is like holding me back, and it's like a problem. Like anyways, I mean this isn't therapy, but you know what? This is how I fucking feel. So I'm sure I can't be the only one. Now it's time to like actually like get it out there. And again, I just like, maybe it's just self-sabotage, good old-fashioned self. First, know that everyone is different. You are special just as you are. No one, and I'm always too sarcastic. It's like breaking down. See, like then I'm judging me just reading this thing. It's like, it doesn't stop. It's like layer upon layer upon layer. Let go of perfectionism. Yeah, but what does that even mean? If you strive to reach some standard of perfection, you'll be in a state of perpetual frustration. Perfectionism is the voice of the oppressor, the enemy of the people. It will keep you cramped and insane your whole life. Yeah, I would say I definitely feel cramped. I definitely feel pretty fucking insane all the time. Fear may be perfect because you should come up. Who just texted me that? What the hell? What does that mean? That's an unknown number. Oh. I'm in
including yesterday because I think that is actually the state I'm in a lot of the time, and I think it's important to add that in. Even just from what I was reading yesterday about perfectionism, perspective is so easy to just say, and it's so hard to actually live. Like, I really struggle with, like, reading something, and it isn't until, like, I have to, like, find my own way of doing something that it works. Crystal I have, it's a very important stone to me. Sometimes I hold it to help with my anxiety. But when I'm holding, let's say, the stone that looks like the earth, it just reminds me that I'm very small and I'm very insignificant in the best way. That's why I love, like, scale a lot of times, is because it reminds me of, like, perspective. Oh my gosh, here I am. One of my favorite places. You know how I was talking about perspective and everything? Like, I have that, like, stone that looks like the earth, and it's really small, and these chairs are, like, really big. And then it's like, I feel like, oh my gosh, like when Mitski says, like, I feel big and small and big and small and big and small again. It's, like, so true. And it's like I feel like you can know that, and then, like, when you're in the thick of it, you just forget. Like, I feel like I forget all of these, like, life lessons all the time, and I'm, like, hoping for a day when, like, they just, like, stick and, like, things just feel less, like, severe all the time. But maybe that's never gonna happen. So I don't know why it took me so long to finish this video. I remember when I started recording it, I didn't even think I was gonna make this a video. I start to feel, like, stupid sometimes when I'm doing things, and I'm like, I don't know why. Like, I think it's just, like, I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like there was lots of ups and downs after that. I never really know what's going on. I've had some great days, and it's mostly because I've been, like, seeing friends and going out and living my life. I went to this art festival, and, like, there were all of these, like, painters and, like, sculptors, and it was just, like, so cool to see people who are so inspired by their own lives. And I feel like that's kind of when we make the best stuff, is, like, when you're, like, really getting out what's inside of you. It was cool because you'd go up to the booth and you'd see everyone's work, and a lot of the artists are there themselves, so you get to kind of, like, get this almost, like, full picture of who they are. And it was like, obviously you can't get a full picture, but it's like what they were feeling in that time, and then it's, like, fun to see what you relate to, and it's almost like we're all kind of, like, experiencing the same things. There was one artist who had this, like, it's almost like a steampunk, like, astronaut, which I thought was really cool because I love steampunk. And the artist said that it was kind of like trying to remain, like, hopeful after, like, the pandemic. They're letting the crack of hope in, and I was like, that is so cool, because that's how I feel right now. For sure, go to, like, art events that are in your area too, because, like, you can find some of the most relatable art to you because you're all kind of, like, in the same community in a way. And, like, sometimes there were artists that were, like, that painted, like, some of my favorite places I like to go in person, and it was cool to see, like, their interpretation of the place. Like, I saw this one beach that I love to go to, and I had recently gone to with my friends actually, and the artist had painted the sand, like, purple, and I was like, that's so cool. Like, I understand why it feels that way, and that beach does feel that way. Go and meet other local artists and, like, you know, be one yourself. Like, I don't think you need to, like, be in a specific museum or be playing in some theater or anything like that. Like, that's so, like, for what? Like, at this point, like, you really don't need any of, like, that, like, industry stuff. Like, that's not real. Like, you're gonna die one day, and it's like, what is the point? Like, sometimes it's just, like, better to have a chiller, more fun time and everything like that. It's literally raining right now. What the hell?